Good evening. Good evening. How y'all doing today? It is your girl, B. Valise, with Tried and True Financial Services, where we help entrepreneurs with the ABCs of finance to simplify your accounting, budgeting, and credit processes. Today is Tax Tip Tuesday, and I am here to share a tax tip with you all on today. Listen, I know last week, at least here in Michigan, last week was a rough week for us because our children started back to school on a Monday, and then we had a big storm come through, and a it knocked out our power for a lot of the school districts. So the children were out of school all week last week, and so today was their first day back after enjoying the Labor Day weekend with their families. Today was their first day back in school. So I just thought it fitting to talk a little bit about educator deductions, the educator expense deduction. So you guys come on in, hang out with me for a little while. I just want to share a quick tax tip. I know a lot of you are getting your children ready for school again tomorrow, getting homework done, getting dinner done. Things are picking back up with going back to school. And so I kind of just wanted to pop in here again and share a quick tip. So make sure that you say hello in the chat. Don't just come in and just sneak around and hide out from me or whatever. Make sure you drop a hello in the chat. Make sure you drop some emojis in the chat. I am an emoji girl. I love emojis. So drop me some smiley faces, drop me some hearts in the comments and let me know that you're going to hang out with me for just a few minutes. I just want to talk to you guys quickly about the educator expense deduction. So we know this is no slight to parents, but I know a lot of my parents are educators themselves. And so we know that teachers go above and beyond for their students, and they are not compensated as well as they should be. So kudos to all of my educators out there. We love you. We appreciate you for all that you pour into our students. But we also know that buying classroom supplies a lot of times can be a little bit burdensome. I know when I was going to school, it wasn't the way that it is today, where parents are expected to bring in a lot of supplies. I know my daughter had a laundry list of items that she needed to go out and purchase for my grandson to take to school with him. And the list of everything that he had to purchase came up to about $175 for all of these items. And then on top of that, the items that she had to purchase and bring into the classroom was things not just for him, but things that he has to share with the classroom. And so unfortunately for parents, there's no deduction, but for my educators, there is a deduction that you are allowed to take when you file your taxes. That if you spend up to, it used to be $250 for this year, for 2021 when you filed your taxes this year, but for 2022 when you file your taxes in April, that amount has gone up to $300. And so if you have two educators in the same home, that amount doubles, right? So up to $300 that you spend on classroom supplies, things like sanitizing wipes, in addition to papers, folders, Kleenex, all of those things that you buy to put your bulletin boards together. I know I was talking to one of my girlfriends and she was getting her classroom together and she had to move all of her stuff from one board to the next board to her new school. So all of those types of things, new things that you have to purchase each and every year. Educators, I hope you have not been missing out on this deduction. And it's not, like a huge amount, but every dollar matters, right? Every dollar counts. So I just want you to be educated and know that this is a deduction that's available to my educators to make sure that any qualified expenses that you are paying out of your pocket, not money that you're being reimbursed for, not grants that you may be receiving, not anything like that, but anything that you pay out of your pocket to go and make the learning experience in the classroom a lot easier for you and easier and more pleasant for the children, that there is a tax deduction that's available to you for that very purpose. So I kind of just wanted to share that quick tax tip with you on this week and let you know to make sure that you keep up with your receipts, make sure that you keep your records, make sure that you writing on those receipts what those amounts are for, and make sure that you're putting it in a safe space so that when tax time comes up, that you have all of those documents there and available and ready to take your deduction that you are entitled to. I know I spend, even now, with us coming up on the filing extension deadline, we got about another 30 or 45 days before people that filed extensions still need to file their taxes, and a lot of people are scrambling and struggling trying to find all of their documents, their receipts, business owners looking for receipts of things that they spent, expenses that they incur in their business throughout the year. And so it really is extremely important that you, number one, that you have an accounting system in place, that you're keeping track of your expenses each and every month throughout the year. Because at the end of the year, when that year has gone on and you're in a new year trying to gather documents for a year that's already passed, I'm telling you, it's very challenging. And so I see it happen all the time where people are scrambling, trying to find receipts, trying to remember what they spent their money on, trying to gather all of those documents. It just makes it so much easier if you have a tracking system or a tracking mechanism in place while it's happening. I cannot say this enough, and I'm not going to stop saying it until I stop seeing people struggle in this area. I still see people struggling in this area with keeping good records, keeping track of all of their documents. So please, ma'am, please, sir, put something in place. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes. So please, ma'am, please, sir, put something in place that's going to help you when it's time to get your taxes done. Make sure that you can gather all of those documents from a central location and you're not scrambling trying to find those documents, or that you're not missing out on deductions or credits that have been put in place to help you because you don't have your documentation. So it is critically important that you keep good records, that you put an accounting system in place, so that you do what's necessary to make your life a little bit easier. It's not that easy having to go back scrambling, looking for all of these receipts and documents so that you can take deductions that you are entitled to, that are rightfully yours. So please do the right thing and make sure that you put an accounting system, a tracking system, something in place to help you make sure that you can get the most and minimize your bottom line as much as humanly possible. Okay. Hi, Gina. Yes, yes, so very important. So I appreciate the vote of confidence. And like I said, I'm not going to stop saying it until I stop seeing people struggle in this area. It's so very important that you put an accounting system in place and that you're keeping copious notes, copious records, because at the end of the day, you don't want to miss out on any of the deductions that you are entitled to and that's rightfully yours. And so, yeah. Yeah, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that, sis. Don't pull any skin off of your eyelids. Make sure that you, and if you're not, if it's an area of weakness for you and you know that it's not something that you desire to do, I say it all the time. Do what you do best and delegate the rest. But there's certain things in your personal life that you can't delegate, but it makes it easier to delegate if you keep everything in a central location, and then you can pass it off to your assistant, your virtual assistant, or your live in-person assistant, or to someone that can possibly help make sure that you get those documents uploaded to an electronic repository, so that when it's time to pass that critical information over to your tax professional, that you have that information in a great place where you can go ahead and do it. Yes, I understand and know we all need help in various areas, and it's so very important that, and again, I cannot stress it enough, it makes it so much easier when you do it right when it's happening. because if you don't take the time to do it right when it's happening, right when you created that expense, then going back trying to gather 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 12-month worth of expenses, it gets to be pretty cumbersome. And then now you have to take out a whole day struggling trying to find all of those documents. So I cannot stress enough how very important it is to make sure that you're keeping track of those records, that you put a system in place to kind of help mitigate the pulling out the hair, pulling off any skin or anything like that, and that you keep track of those documents as it's happening. I promise you, it will make things so much more easier. Okay. And I appreciate you joining me, sister, on today. And we need to connect, and we need to make sure that we get on the calendar and get our virtual coffee in. Okay. So I look forward to that. Thank you so much for joining me today. If there's any questions that you have in this space regarding tax deductions, tax tips, please make sure that you drop them in the comments, or if you send me a message to let me know for future topics that you would like to hear me talk about on another Tax Tip Tuesday live, I would be happy to do that. I appreciate you all joining me, and I look forward to talking to you in the future on our next broadcast of Tax Tip Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's been your girl, B. Valise, with Tried and True Financial Services, where we help entrepreneurs with the ABCs of finance to simplify your accounting, budgeting, and credit processes. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you again on next week. Thank you so much. Bye.